Phantom of Flannan Isles. It is 2:30 a.m. on my mobile houseboat now. Welcome back to my floating sanctuary of the dead. As always, insomnia keeps me tethered to consciousness during these witching hours. The gentle rocking should lull me to sleep. But tonight, the waves seem agitated, purposeful, as if something beneath is trying to communicate. I'm glad you've joined me again. The darkness feels less absolute when shared. The antique oil lantern on my salvaged desk casts long, twitching shadows across my collection of maritime oddities. Its brass base creaks with each sway of my mobile morgue, and the shadow it throws resembles a moving skeleton. Its arms stretching across my anatomy charts, as if trying to rearrange the bones. The smell of sea salt hangs sharp in the air tonight. It reminds me of stale formaldehyde, which I'm accustomed to. But this is different. The seawater seeps through the worn planks of my hull as if it's alive, each cold drip on the wooden floor making my skin crawl. Tonight, we drift into the cold heart of a maritime mystery that has haunted me for years. The vanishing of the lighthouse keepers of Flannan Isles and the phantom ship that still sails those waters. December 15th, 1900. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse stood silent, no light to guide ships through treacherous waters. When the relief vessel Hesperus finally reached the isle on December 26th, they found an impossible scene. No keepers, just an untouched meal on the table, a toppled chair, and one final log entry that still chills me to read. Storm ended. Sea calm. God is over all. But the meteorological record showed no storm in the area on that date. 3 men were stationed there: Thomas Ducat, James Marshall, and Donald MacArthur. Vanished. No bodies. No signs of struggle. Only their logbooks remained, speaking of strange tensions, unusual fears. One keeper wrote, "He stands at the base of the tower, soaked through, looking up, but the sea is calm today. He should not be here. He is ringing a bell." There was no bell on Flannan Isle. What most don't know is that a sailing vessel was reported missing the very same night. The SS Serenity, a small merchant ship. No record of its departure exists in any harbor log. No cargo manifest. No crew roster. It simply ceased to exist. On the same night, 3 men vanished from an isolated lighthouse. I've seen strange things in my years as a traveling medical examiner, sailing my mobile morgue to coastal towns too small for proper facilities. But nothing compares to what washed ashore near Ness, Lewis in 1987, almost a century later. A body, no identification, no apparent cause of death. The lips curled in an expression of awe or terror, impossible to distinguish. Eyes wide, cloudy with salt. The man wore a coat in a style manufactured specifically for lighthouse keepers in 1899. No one believed my findings, so I kept him. Drawer 17 in the cold storage compartment below deck. Sometimes, when the sea is particularly still, I hear the click of that drawer's latch at precisely 2:30 a.m. I recorded the sound once, for evidence, and at exactly 2:32 a.m., a wet voice whispered on the tape. We could not close the lantern door. The sea was inside us. Have you ever heard the sea breathe? I have. It's not beautiful, as poets claim. It gasps, like a thing that should not live, but refuses to die. In 2023, a team of marine archaeologists claimed to have found the wreckage of a late 19th century sailing vessel off the Flannan Isles. Their submersibles cameras captured strange footage. A ship sitting upright on the seabed, as if it had been gently placed there rather than sunk. In the diver's journal, I found a single disturbing entry. We found her in the dark, upright, but wrong. Windows like eyes, still warm to the touch despite a century underwater. And inside the hull, nothing. Empty cabins, empty holds. But the interior walls were covered in scratch marks, all made from the inside. There's something in those waters, something ancient, not evil. Evil is too simple a concept. This is emptier than evil, a vacuum that must be filled with life. So when the lantern flickers tonight, as my houseboat drifts closer to the Scottish coast than I'd planned, when the creaking shadow bends toward the morgue slab I sleep on, I whisper back to the darkness, not tonight. But one night, I fear I won't say it fast enough. 3 nights ago, I woke to find my mobile morgue had moved. The anchor was still down, chain taut, yet I was a half-mile from where I'd moored, directly facing the distant silhouette of the Flannan Isles, and drawer 17 was open, empty. Last night, through my small porthole window, I saw a light where no light should be, a ship's lantern, moving through fog that existed nowhere else on the clear sea. As it passed, I made out figures standing on the deck. One wore a lighthouse keeper's coat. Behind them stood a much taller figure, proportions all wrong, limbs too long, head too small. It held something in its elongated fingers, something that gleamed in the moonlight, a lighthouse key. My boat is moving again now. The anchor chain strains against something pulling it. The compass spins without purpose, and I swear I can hear a bell ringing beneath the waves. So sleep, if you dare. But if you wake to the whisper of wet footsteps, if your bedroom fills with the scent of the deep sea, if you hear the words, storm ended, sea calm, God is over all, do not answer, or you might hear the waves begin to breathe around you. Raise your bed to a float. Don't panic. You are just drifting to peaceful tropical island for deep, relaxing sleep. And whatever speaks through them will answer back with your eyes closed tight. Do not open to see the darkness and massive heights of the waves. This is Dr. Moore, yawning to anchor the sail houseboat Morgue. In the morning, to drift closer to Flannan Isles for maritime forensic investigative. Perhaps I will need an AI agent assistant. The barometer reads a bone-chilling -4 degrees with the wind chill factor, though I know that's impossible for these waters. Strong waves pound against the hull, each crash sending tremors through the wooden planks beneath my feet. Thunder rumbles in the distance, accompanied by flashes of lightning that illuminate the horizon for brief, terrifying moments, revealing silhouettes that shouldn't be there. The moon and stars are mere gibberish smudges behind thick cloud cover, appearing and disappearing like Morse code I can't decipher. My sleeping quarters have become inexplicably damp, the bedding soaked through though there's no leak I can find. Meanwhile, the cranking, bellowing winds howl through the rigging, voices almost human in their inflection. The sailing boat rocks harder than usual tonight, not the gentle lullaby sway of normal waters, but a violent, deliberate motion, as if something below is testing the strength of my anchor chain. Oh, sugar. The maritime compass is blurred, the needles spinning in impossible directions, and my maps, I can't find them anywhere. They were laid out on my desk not 30 minutes ago, secured with weighted corners. Well, maybe it's just sleep-deprived hallucination. After all, I haven't properly rested in... How many days has it been now? The dates in my journal seem to repeat, as if I've been recording the same day over and over. Sleep well and better, and if the rocking of the waves allows, let the whispers from the morgue continue.
I'm mistreated. Pastoral mid-putnaki simadaro. Iwelptipi. Aloskokoi. I'm scantic sanmas. I said, say us.